If you want to become a good laparoscopic surgeon, then there are three fundamentals. Three important pillars are for laparoscopy. First is called as ergonomics. Second fundamental is task analysis. And third fundamental is engineering. These are the three important pillars. And then only you can keep the laparoscopy over that. If you are not good in ergonomics, if you are not good in task analysis, and if you are not a good engineer, then forget about laparoscopy. First thing is, what is ergonomics? Ergonomics is interface in between machine and man to improve the task performance. Just like if you drive a car, you don't know how the petrol is moving the engine. But at least interface you must know. That where is the clutch, where is the gear, where is the brake, where is the accelerator. It is automatic transmission or manual, isn't it? Where is the indicator, where is the wiper. That is interface. Any machine, you can use it only better if you know the interface. Exactly same way in laparoscopy, a good laparoscopic surgeon and a bad laparoscopic surgeon, they only have the difference in most important part is ergonomics. And without ergonomics, sometimes what happens, we keep on doing the complication and we don't know why it happens. Just like simple example I will give you. If there is any accident on the road, traffic accident, and it comes on the news like in the TV, we see that one car is hitting one truck and there were many people who were injured or few died also. For us it is just simple a news. But for the car company it is not a simple news. For car company, if they will see that their passenger, they died in the accident, then first thing what they will see, that where is the problem in the design of the car. Why seat belt didn't work? Why the airbag didn't work? Where is the problem? So they will try to improve it. Design will be improved. And especially if it is a very expensive car company, if you go to the USA to buy Lamborghini or Bentley or Rolls-Royce, then they don't advertise their car by celebrities, by exposing any actor or actress. They advertise their car with the accidents. In the big showroom you will see many accident pictures are there. They will tell you that this accident is at 200 km/h and you can see the condition of the car but no one was killed. This accident is that much bad but no one was killed. So once you buy that car, you feel safer. You feel that you are safe. But for the police, it doesn't matter how the car was made. For the police, same accident, they will see different way. If the accident occurred, they will see who was the person who did the mistake, who was violating the traffic rule, isn't it? And they will try to punish or they will try to, so that next time this type of accident doesn't happen. For the civil engineers or for the administration of that area where the accident happened, For them, most important thing is to prevent the accident. Next time, they will put some speed breaker, they will put some red lights, or they will keep one traffic inspector always, so that next time it doesn't happen. Why I am telling you that? That most important thing in laparoscopy is to find out your mistake. Like suppose I will tell you that suppose this is a video, and here in this video this is a cecum, here is a cecum, this is ileum, this is ileocecal junction, and here is one ileocolic artery. This is ileum, and this is a ileocolic artery. Now surgeon is using ligashore device. Ligashore device, this is ligashore atlas. That is one of the best vessel sealer available today in the market. And he is trying to seal the ileocolic artery and cook it. And he is cooking it. And now accident happens. Bleeding has started. And he could not catch that bleeder. Still bleeding is continuing, but he is not able to control it. He is not able to hold it also. And then slowly the bleeding increases, ultimately you have to open the abdomen. Now tell me, what is the problem here? What was the mistake? Where is the problem? What is wrong?
Anatomy.
From the start.
Was not very well.
Anatomy.
Experience of the surgeon.
Where he is crossing. Is crossing. You would have
Here
straight,
he is correct that one problem was swording.
But the experience of the surgeon.
Swording means
Swording.
one this ligashore and grasper were swording. Another problem was traction. You know, if you want to coagulate any vessel, any traction over that should be released, so that elastin and collagen can melt and protein can shrink, and then the lumen will be sealed. So if you are pulling it by swording and pulling it like that, it will never seal. And one most important problem was wrong port position. You know, telescope was here and one instrument was coming opposite to that. That gives you mirror image. So even though bleeding happens, if you have a coaxial alignment, means telescope in the middle and two instrument other side, then you can go and catch it bleeder. But here the problem was there, one instrument was coming from this side and another instrument was coming. So if the vision axis and the action axis is opposite to each other, it gives you mirror image. I will show you again that if you see here, this is this instrument, telescope is coming from here. Can you see that? And one instrument is here, and this instrument, the ligashore which is coming, is opposite. And due to that, vision axis and action axis were away from each other, and this is swording. So that is give you the paradoxical movement. Here it is there. And see, because this instrument is opposite to the telescope, so just after bleeding, he was not able to spontaneously catch the bleeder. And now this instrument was able to catch it. This grasper is holding, but this ligashore cannot work, because vision axis was opposite to the action axis, and that is will give you mirror image. And in the mirror image, if you will spontaneously try to catch the tissue, if you go right, it will go left, isn't it? And that will be the problem is that wrong port position also, and that's why it should be a baseball diamond concept of the port position. And then you can
show us the
Diamond.
correct direction. Should be.
Pardon?
Can you show us the correct direction?
Correct direction should be, if that we will discuss in
Can you
the,
repeat that?
yes, we will discuss in the presentation, but just to demonstrate you correct direction, that let us assume that if this is the appendix, Suppose this is the appendix. Then one telescope should be here, and one you can keep in left iliac fossa, and one either you can put suprapubic, isn't it?
Yes.
Or here, right subcostal. But do you know, here was the iliocolic artery, isn't it? And this port was coming from here, isn't it? Here. And this was coming from there. And that was swording. Here was the swording. So if this instrument is coming opposite to the telescope, then it will give you the complete paradoxical mode. So the detail about this I will discuss in the base ball diamond concept. But most important mistake was wrong port position.
So it is always better to avoid a right iliac fossa port.
No, this is not, you don't have to remember right iliac fossa or left iliac fossa. There is one principle of port position, there are certain calculations. And if you know that, even surgeon can put the port for gynecologist. Unfortunately, most of the book or most of the teacher, they teach us wrongly. In hysterectomy, what you are learning, one port in umbilicus, two port 3 cm medial to the anterior superior iliac spine and lateral to the rectus abdominis. This we are learning and remembering it, but it is not correct. A port position of 10 cm long uterus and 24 cm if the length will not be same. A ovarian cyst of 4 cm and ovarian cyst of 20 cm will not have the same port position. So that port position will be decided according to base ball diamond concept.
Then success.
There are certain calculation, certain arc, certain angles, and then you will put the port. And after that, even you will put the port for any specialization, it will be correct. And that we will learn. It is a 2-hour lecture, so we will discuss separately. But I am just giving you example and the importance of ergonomics. So first of the important pillar of the minimal accessory is good ergonomics. If your ergonomics is good, then always your surgery will be better. If your ergonomics is not good, it doesn't matter how much skilled surgeon you are, your performance will be bad. Just like few more examples. One example is coaxial alignment. Like suppose this is the appendix. Suppose this is the appendix here. And you are a surgeon. Then you have to stand there and monitor has to be placed there. Like this is head of the patient, this is leg of the patient, and this is appendix. So you will stand near the right surgeon, left surgeon, and appendix is in the right iliac fossa, and monitor should be placed near the right hip. So that coaxial alignment should be maintained. Like eye of the surgeon, target of dissection, and the center of the monitor should be in the same axis. If there is more than 15-degree head tilt, then your performance will deteriorate more than 25%. Like suppose this is appendix and I am standing here and monitor is placed at this point and I have to see like that. So then I am performing procedure, my performance will be bad because coaxial alignment is not there. Eye, target and the monitor should be in the same axis. So always in laparoscopy, we stand opposite to the pathology. If you have to perform right side hernia, you are standing near the left surgeon. If you have to perform left side hernia, you will stand near the right surgeon. Gynecologist has some liberty that their organs are mobile. So just after putting uterine manipulator and giving anteversion and contralateral traction, sometimes they can bring the pathology into the midline. So even the left ovarian cyst, they can perform standing to the left. But as a surgeon, you cannot bring the left hernia into the midline. So you have to go to the right. And even the gynecologist, sometimes suppose you have a very bad tubo-ovarian mass, and left side ovary is completely stuck to the lateral pelvic wall, then you have to go to the right. So always maintain the coaxial alignment.
So can you once again repeat for appendectomy, the surgeon should stand on the patient's left.
Always in laparoscopy, surgeon should be stand opposite to the pathology. If pathology is right side, you will stand to the left.
Monitor.
If pathology is left, you will, and monitor should be on the side of the pathology. So this is universal rule. Always you have to stand opposite to the pathology. Most of the time we stand left because most of the pathologies of the bodies are on the right side. Gallbladder is right, appendix is right, most of the hernias are also right, most of the ectopics are also right, most of the ovarian cyst is also on the right side. So our right side of the body is more diseased. But if you have the left, then you need to go to the right. So that coaxial. It is not only in laparoscopy. Even if you do sometimes, suppose laptop you are using, typing you are using, then you want to have a coaxial alignment. Otherwise your performance will not be good. In the exam when you are doing cheating, your piece of paper is here and then you have to write. That's why your handwriting is not good. Because your ergonomics is not good. You have to see in a bad angle. But if they will allow you to keep it in front, then you can write it very easily. So this is not only in the session. Everywhere coaxial alignment is required. Second is
The person, sir.
Would it change this principle if you are left-handed?
no. This is very important. That in laparoscopy we should have ambidextrity. Both the hands should work. And unfortunately, left-handed people have sometimes difficulty in performing cholecystectomy and all. You know why? Because in cholecystectomy, your epigastric port is a dissecting port, isn't it? Because you have to separate the cystic artery, you have to open the Carnot's triangle, and in those situations, if you are a left-handed person also, the grasper will be in Hartmann pouch, and right hand has to do the dissection. So left-handed people are getting benefited in left side hernia surgery. Right-handed people, they have problem in performing left side hernia surgery because during dissection. So it doesn't matter if you are right-handed or left-handed in laparoscopy, you have to stand opposite to the pathology and you should develop the ambidextrity. Means both the hand has to equally work. Otherwise, performing surgery will be difficult. So little bit access is different. When you do the access, putting the varus needle and all, if you are a right-handed person, you will stand on the left of the patient. And left hand you will use to lift the abdominal wall, and with the right hand you will put the varus needle. But if you are a left-handed person, during access you will go to the right of the patient. So that your right hand will lift the abdominal wall and left will put the varus needle. Access, because access, blind access, you are not seeing on the monitor. You have to put the varus needle. But once you put your ports, then both the hand has to work. Both the hands should be, ambidextrity should be there. So this was coaxial alignment. This is just an example of ergonomics. Another example is the distance from the eye to the monitor screen. If you see here, this is 21-inch monitor. 21-inch means distance from one corner to another corner is 21 inch. And if you have a 21-inch monitor, you have to stand 105 inch away from the screen. 5 times. And if you are using 14-inch monitor, then you need to stand 70 inch away from the screen. If you are nearer, then also ergonomically it is wrong. If you are away, then also it is wrong. Why? Just simple example. Suppose I am keeping monitor that much away. The screen is there and my patient is here. And then I am performing surgery. Then I will lose the resolution. Why? Our retina has the maximum resolution in the macular region. And macula is the center of the retina where there is maximum number of cones, which gives you the better perception, resolution and color perception also. So suppose I am far away that much, then two problems is there. One is variable depth. I am seeing him also, I am seeing you also, I am seeing the ceiling also, I am seeing monitor and I am seeing the wall behind the monitor also. So my people will try to focus all, and then I cannot give the exact focus on the screen. A mean focal length will be adjusted. And second problem is that field of vision is so big that it is not only the screen I am seeing on the macula, all the periphery also is seeing on the macula. And then my resolution will be lost. If I will do another, if I will bring very nearer, then image will be too bigger for the macula. It will go to the rods also, periphery. Just like a simple example, when you go to the cinema hall to see the movie, and if you have paid the maximum, if you have maximum costly ticket, then your seat is 5 times to the diagonal length of the screen. You will see next time. That is, this is a screen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your seat. Maximum VIP seats. If you give them little less money, then they will keep you completely back. Complete back. Complete back has a problem that you are not only seeing the screen, you are seeing the head of other people also and wall also. But they keep the light switch off so that that head and wall won't be visible. But if you have given very less money, they will keep you just in front of the screen. Now, the image is too big even for your eyeball, so you have to see this side and again that side. Means if you see the actor, you will miss actress. And if you see this side, you will see that. So your headache will be there, your pain will be neck also, and at the end of this cinema, you will be completely, fatigued, cerebrally fatigued. So same thing happens in laparoscopy. So ergonomically, our eye should be 5 times away from the diagonal length of the monitor screen. This is just an example of ergonomics. Next example, OT light should be 20 lux. 20 lux. Lux is the intensity of the light. Light intensity, the unit that is called as lux. And OT light should be 20 lux. If it is too much bright operation theatre, we cannot perform surgery. Because resolution will be just like too much bright was there, then the screen was not visible. Isn't it? So they put the light off. And if it is too dark, then also you cannot perform. Because you will not be able to see the handle or you cannot change the instrument. So 20 lux OT light. Then manipulation angle. Manipulation angle should be 60 degree. Can I have 2 instruments there? These are the 2 instruments. And here if you will see, this is called as manipulation angle. Manipulation angle is the angle between 2 working instruments. And that should be 60 degree. This is 60 degree. Do you know, whatever we do in our day-to-day life, we have better performance if your angle is 60 degree. Even if you do clapping, your hand are 60 degree. If you do the clapping like this, it will not work. Or do the clapping this way, then also it doesn't work. 180 degree, can you clap it? You cannot. You need 60 degree angle. When you are writing right now, both the hands are 60 degree angle. One hand is holding, other is writing. When you play keyboard, when you play drum, every time 60 degree angle is required. In laparoscopy, if you will put a wrong port position, suppose this is uterus, and you put one port here and one port here, like this, now your angle is 180 degree. And now your performance is bad. If you have to close the wart, you will struggle like anything. You cannot suture. Or if you are doing myomectomy, you will be in trouble. And what is the trouble? Your manipulation angle is wrong. You cannot take a wind. The females, they often learn the skill of knitting pullover or sweater, isn't it? So even taking a knot in the pullover or sweater is not possible if your both the forks are not at the angle of 60 degree. If I will tell you to keep at 180 degree and then do the knitting, can you do that? It doesn't happen. So exactly same way in laparoscopy, without good manipulation angle, your performance will be bad. In open surgery, anytime I can change, decrease or increase the manipulation angle. But in laparoscopy, it depends of my port position.
But the port can move, also can change the angle?
No, target, suppose this is target. Suppose this is target and port is here, then your manipulation angle is fixed. You cannot change the angle. You can change, only move the instrument. If you want to change, you have to change the port. If suppose port is too lateral, your angle is 180. If it is little medium, then 60. If it is too nearer, then less than 60. So that depends upon your port position. And if your port is correctly introduced, then your correct manipulation angle will be there. Otherwise, you cannot perform surgery also. Other is elevation angle. Elevation angle is the angle between the instrument and the body of the patient. This is called as elevation angle. Elevation angle should be 30 degree. Suppose this is ovary, or this is gallbladder or appendix. And if I will put my port just over the target of dissection, then elevation angle will be 90 degree. Suppose this is appendix and I am putting port on the right iliac fossa here. Now my elevation angle is 90 degree. And I cannot lift the organ now. If I have to lift, I need to catch it like this. Catch it. And it will be very bad. But if you are 18 centimeter away from the target of dissection, then your half of the instrument length is 36 centimeter. So if you are 18 centimeter from the target of dissection, then half of the instrument will be in and half of the instrument will be out, and your elevation angle will become automatically 30 degree. And now your performance is better. You can lift it, you can manipulate it. Simple task. Suppose I will take a omelette and put on the plate, and I will tell you to make this omelette for me, but I will only give you one request, that your fork should be always 90 degree. Can you turn this omelette other side? Keeping 90 degree, is it possible? It's not possible. If you try to turn it, it will hit your, and it will burn. But if it is 30 degree, you can turn it. See here, I can turn to the other side. This is the possibility with 30 degree that it can give you. But with the 90 degree, can you do that? You cannot do that. So always a better task performance is there, even suturing, knotting, dissection, if your elevation angle is 30 degree. And that is also ergonomics. Then comes azimuth angle. Azimuth, A-Z-I-M-U-T-H. Azimuth angle is the angle between telescope and one instrument. Telescope है, and one instrument is azimuth angle. And azimuth angle should vary from 15 to 45. Ideally 30 degree. 2 azimuth angle is making manipulation angle. Azimuth angle of left side plus azimuth angle of right side will make the manipulation angle.
Again this part.
A-Z-I-M-U-T-H. What is azimuth angle? Suppose this is telescope in the middle, and here is my 2 instruments. This angle is azimuth angle. So if this side is 15 degree, this side has to come 45 degree. So 15 plus 45 how much? 60. Or if this side is 30, this side is 30, that is correct. Ideally, azimuth angle of either side should be 30 degree. Then it will make a manipulation angle 60 degree. But due to any reason, if one side is decreasing, other side has to increase. So that your manipulation angle is 60. How to do that? That we will learn during the port position. Don't worry. Automatically it will fall to the correct place if you do the proper calculation. And if you know the art of baseball diamond concept of port position, then it will be perfect port. But if it is not there, and if our azimuth angle is wrong, we cannot perform surgery better. Do you know ergonomics is the backbone of minimal accessory? Only difference in a good surgeon and bad surgeon is, good surgeon always take care of ergonomics. Bad surgeon, he don't know also what he is doing wrong. So he learned by his own mistakes. Sometimes if you will ask the surgeon that why you are putting the port here, they will say it is good. When tell you no, but why the port is there? This is the way how to put the port. But they will not explain you that what is the ergonomics behind that. And once you will learn it, then even if the pathology is changed, suppose there is a subhepatic appendix, then immediately you can calculate your port position and it will be scientifically correct.
Calculated after
Pardon?
the board?
After telescope. Once you put a telescope and then you can check. Port position should never be decided without entering inside. Because what you are expecting cannot be inside the same. Now, simple thing. When you drive a car, once you enter into your car, what you are doing first thing? Adjusting the seat. Isn't it? You sit there and if your height is less, you will try to bring the seat nearer to the steering. Or you bring the steering little towards you. Or height of the seat you will adjust. Exactly same way, as soon as you enter into the operation theatre, you should try to adjust the OT table height. OT table height should be in such a way that the handle of the instrument should come at the level of elbow. This is the instrument and this is. Suppose, and for that OT table should be 0.49 into the height of the surgeon. If surgeon is 1 meter tall, OT table should be 49 centimeters from the floor. So that handle should be at the level of elbow. Suppose my height is that much only, and here is the instrument, and now I have to hold it like that. See, my hand is at the level of my shoulder, and I have to keep my arm abducted. It doesn't matter how much experience you are, your performance will be bad. So this should be the, and OT table should go much down, your height is less, so that handle of the instrument should be at the level of elbow. If it is more, your performance has to deteriorate. If it is less, it will be bad. When you are writing here, he is keeping one bag on his thigh, and then he is putting the notebook on the bag. Do you know why? Because he wants to bring this hand at the level of elbow. And the people who will not do that, they have little difficulty. So in our day-to-day life, always we want to have the better ergonomics. Even if you sleep, you want to put the pillow in a good position. In laparoscopy also, if you know the each and every detail of ergonomics, your performance will be better. So first thing you adjust is the OT table height. Suppose OT table cannot go much down, and if your height is less, you should use one platform. Understand over that. And if the hand is at the level of elbow, your performance will be better. If it is a little abducted, it will give fatigue, and within few minutes you will have pain in your deltoid. And if you have to do suturing, knotting or dissection, You are in bad ergonomics, and then your performance will deteriorate. So this is the one and the first and the most important is ergonomics. Second pillar of a good laparoscopic surgeon is task analysis. What is task analysis? These I have given just few examples of ergonomics to just realize the importance. The complete detail of the ergonomics we will keep on discussing once we will discuss the different procedures. Now second important pillar is task analysis. What is task analysis? Task analysis is sequential breakup of procedural and executional steps of surgery. Procedural and executional. Just like cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy has 5 procedural steps. First step is access. Access means entry inside the abdomen with a telescope and instrument. Second is exposure of cystic pedicle. Third is dissection of the callus trunnion. Fourth is separation of the gallbladder from the gallbladder bed. And fifth step is extraction of the gallbladder. This is called as procedural steps. And this all of us we will do the same. That you cannot change. You cannot remove the gallbladder without dissecting the callus. You cannot extract the gallbladder without separating it from liver. Isn't it? But the problem starts in the executional steps. How you execute it? Which peritoneum should be dissected first? At which point you should hold it first? Just like a simple example, I will tell my friend here to make a cup of tea for me. Just you tell me how you will make. I went to your house, your wife is not there. And you want to give me a cup of tea. So you have to make it. Now explain how you will make.
I'll use the electric kettle, sir.
He will use electric kettle. Okay. Yeah.
All the necessary ingredients.
He will bring all the necessary ingredients. Okay, then.
And then prepares with hot water.
He will
milk
put the
powder,
hot water after that.
milk powder. And
He will
milk
put the sugar, milk
sugar,
powder,
milk powder and tea bag.
and then he will put at the last tea bag. Okay. And after that he will serve you. Okay, he did 5 mistakes. First mistake is that he didn't ask me how much sugar I want. Maybe I am diabetic, I will not take, or maybe I will take a lot of sugar. Okay, that is excusable, suppose. Second mistake he did, he added milk powder and sugar first and then tea leaf at the last. It should never be done like that. If you add the sugar and the milk powder first, a specific gravity of the water increases. And then if you will add the tea leaf, it will not get the flavor and the color from the tea leaf. So in water, first thing what should be added is tea leaf. Then osmolar difference will be more. And then it will take better color and flavor. That's why when you go to the 5-star hotel, they give you liquor separate, milk separate and sugar separate. So you cannot blame them that they are whatever you have to add, you will add your own. And then if you have added more milk or more sugar, you will regret yourself, oh, it's more or less. So if you want the flavor, then it should be tea leaf in the water. And once the color and flavor comes, then you can add the milk or sugar later. So what I want, I am not criticizing your tea. This is your tea, you can make anywhere you want. But, you know, there is one Indian chef who has written a 500-page book, How to Make a Tea. And in that he has described all the tea of all the countries. If you go to Libya, and if they will give you tea or coffee, 1 cup of a small cup they have, and if you will drink 1 cup of tea or coffee whole day in India, you don't need to take another cup. It is so concentrated And this show means high, very means strong tea. But in India, tea means sweet drink, isn't it? They put a lot of sugar, a lot of milk, and that type of tea here the people they drink. So only the flavor depends upon the task analysis. If you do one task upside down, quality changes. In laparoscopic surgery, quality of your surgery depends upon task analysis. If A, B, C, D, if you are writing, B should never be after D, or C should never be before B. If you are doing that, it is wrong. Our hand can only work and only perform which our brain can see. And in laparoscopy, if you have to, suppose you have to do hysterectomy, and if someone without opening anterior and posterior leaf of broad ligament and without separating the bladder, if someone is attempting to cook the uterine artery, ureter will damage. It will damage. Suppose you are doing cholecystectomy, and when you have to open the peritoneum, there is one Rovier's sulcus, which we say is the Ganesha's head. I will demonstrate it. And your posterior peritoneum must be resected above that. If someone is going below the Rovier's sulcus, that means he is doing wrong. An accident is waiting to happen. So, each and every executional steps of the surgery should be completely imprinted in our brain, just like a sequence of a movie. And then you should replicate it, you should translate it, your movie which is in your brain, you have to translate it inside the abdomen. And your success and disaster depends upon your steps are correct or steps are wrong. Some people has the problem only because 2-3 steps they miss or they do upside down, and then they have problem. So you should try to do the proper task analysis. In laparoscopic surgery, it's not again I will tell, it's not a surgery in reality. It's a surgery over image, and we have very less margin of the error. So if your task analysis is perfect, your surgery will be good, otherwise not. So this is second pillar of minimal access surgery. Why some surgeons are good and why some surgeons are not good? Because their task analysis is bad. They don't follow some of the important steps, and they jump A, D, H, I like that. They not follow A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A to Z, it should be sequence. Now, third important pillar is engineering. Do you know most of us, we become doctor because our mathematics was not good. Doctors, their mathematics is not good. And doctors generally, they are very feared of technology and especially the physics. But in laparoscopy, you have to become an engineer also. You must know what is white balancing, what is focusing, what is shutter speed, what is aperture, what is the different type of fibroscopic filter, what is the red gain, what is the blue gain. I will demonstrate you. I will explain the camera, explain the insufflator. Insufflator, we just think about it is a foolish box which is pushing the CO2 inside the abdomen. But it has a quadromanometric indicator. It has 4 important indicators: preset pressure, actual pressure, flow rate, total amount of gas used, and the different calculation, different relation in this quadromanometric indicator will immediately let you know where the gas is going. Within few seconds it will let you know gas is going into the abdomen, gas is going into the vessel, gas is going into the bowel, gas is going into the preperitoneal space. So these are the physics which you have to know, how those things work. Then you have a lot of energy. You have plasma kinetic energy, bipolar, monopolar, harmonic, Liga-Shore, Ensil, Thunderbeat, Argon beamer. And we need to know which energy is used in which case, which type of tissue demands which type of energy. What is direct coupling? What is capacitive coupling? What is insulation failure? What is the difference between fulguration and desiccation? What wattage of the current should be used for the different type of... What is the difference between the pure cut and the blend cut? What type of distance should be used for the argon beamer? Where the laser can be used? Where the harmonic can be better used? And this needs a engineering knowledge also. And if you know your energy, just like if you want to become a soldier, you want to fight for your country, then you are fully loaded with all the weapons. You are loaded with the knife also, you are loaded with the gun also, you are loaded with the bomb also. But you have to use your weapon at correct place. You cannot use the bomb everywhere where the knife is required, isn't it? And you cannot use the gun where the knife is required. So energy, if most of the complication in laparoscopy happens due to the wrong use of energy. If you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like nail. You will give you a hammer in your hand, you will cut here also, cut there also. You give a hammer in a hand of a child, they will break everything of your house. Isn't it? They will try to put everywhere. Exactly same happens in laparoscopy. Sometimes improper use of energy, improper use of the application of the different type. So we have to learn that which energy should be used at which place and how to use it. Again, not only that, you have to become a software engineer also. You need to learn the movie making, video editing, because your patient will ask the DVD. In the DVD, if you will not cut all the bleeding part, they will, whole life they will keep on telling their friends that I don't have blood in my body. During surgery, my doctor has taken all the blood out. If you see the video, I can show you. See here. Since that time, I am weak. I am anemic. So, you have to cut your mistakes. Video editing, and that cannot be done by your nurse, because you know what to keep and where you have done the mistake. Otherwise, she will keep all your mistakes and the good part she will cut. You have to increase the speed of your video also. Otherwise, patient will see it is very slow surgeon. Laparoscopy is inherently slow in nature, but we have to make it faster, so that they can appreciate your skill. Then you have to keep your name, your title, your credit, patient description, and then you give it. It's very quick, and very good softwares are there. You can use it. And just you have to learn how to do it. And then you can keep the project. And if your project is already once saved, just open the project, main file, remove it, cut it and put it. Within 2 minutes your video is ready. But learning takes time. And that also we have to learn on our computer. If you want to become a laparoscopic surgeon, you have to learn computer. Every patient nowadays, medico-legally also it is important that you have to give the DVD. And that engineering part you cannot escape. You have to learn light sources, how to change the bulb, what are the different color temperature of the light source, what is the halogen, LED, xenon, what is the difference, and how we will work. So that technical knowledge is important. Most of the time it is ignored, and most of the time we are depending upon our nurse. Whenever your camera is not showing you the image better, What you do? You don't do anything. You can only say, nurse, why the image is not good. This poor nurse, they have never been trained. This is your job to know that what is the reason my image is not good. How to correct it. This is surgeon's job, gynecologist's job. If someone has done the hysteroscopy before you, she will take the aperture large, she will take fibroscope filter on, and she will take shutter speed slow. That is required for hysteroscopy. And now you don't know it and you are doing with the hysteroscopy setting, you are doing laparoscopy. And then your image is bad. So engineering aspect is very important which we should learn. And one of the great advantage of this knowing the engineering is you will not be cheated by your instrument company also. Because once you know the things, just like if you know your car, then they will not tell you that gearbox has to change or clutch plate has to change. Isn't it? Because you can argue that how it has changed, it is good, it's not a problem, I am driving correctly. So anything which you have, even if your patient has the knowledge of their disease, then they can discuss. And we have to tell them the truth. So exactly same way, if you know your machine, laparoscopy is a byproduct of medical engineering, which is something imposed by the engineers over the doctor. So we must learn it. And we will try to give you all the engineering detail of each and every instrument also in laparoscopy. So this was the basic of these three important things: ergonomics, task analysis and engineering. Okay, so now I will just give you a lunch break, and after that I will start again the discussing all the instruments one by one. Is there any question?
Are we getting some kind of handouts? Because what
You know, you have all the hands out with you. You have all the hands out and all the videos are also there, which you can download from your member area. So those all hands out we will give you. You don't need to write anything. If you are writing, it is good. There is no harm in that. But it is everything you will get it. Any other question?
Excuse me, so what is the ideal monitor size which you would
You know, it depends upon